Hello folks, Andrew Thomas here. A while back you might remember that I did a DIY video where I turned an old ammo box into like my everyday carry tote bag, and it got a lot of views and I was really surprised that it did. And I've been hearing some kind of folks from here and there, now and there, wanting sort of a follow-up video, like another DIY video. So because the second one's been long gestating for a while, because I was trying to think of what to build, this week I decided to delve into my love of movies and make a movie prop of some kind. Now, what sort of movie prop? Well, I frequent a lot of maker websites. Like I watch a lot of different maker videos on YouTube, and I also go to the Replica Prop Forum from time to time. And the impression I get from the maker community is that you can't really call yourself a true maker unless you at least attempt to build your own lightsaber from Star Wars. Well, I don't really need anybody to twist my arm to do it, because everybody knows that the lightsaber is one of the most iconic movie props ever made. So, I just decided to do one. Now, this isn't going to be a typical start to finish build video, because I've been tinkering with this idea for a while, so I've kind of done some work here and there. So this is going to be more like a midway to finish build video. Now, there's two caveats with this build. One, because I'm not tech savvy at all, my lightsaber will not have any electronics. It won't have a blade that lights up or sound effects or anything. Mine's just going to be a static lightsaber hilt, mostly for display purposes. Second caveat, because I don't have access to specialty shop equipment like a lathe or a milling machine, I'm going to build this mostly using junk I had lying around the house. And pretty much basically all the materials were free. I didn't really have to spend anything except for about 30 bucks in paint and painting supplies. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, everybody, so this is where my lightsaber hilt build is currently. This here's like the main shaft of it. It's basically this 1-inch diameter pipe that I just had lying around in a box. I think it's from a leftover broken lamp or something. And I basically inserted it into this length of PVC pipe with accompanying end cap. And that's a little screw there I put for decoration purposes. Problem is, though, when I lined this up with this part with the PVC pipe, it looked like it was going to be the right size to slip right in. Turns out this bit was just a little too big to actually slide it in cleanly. I mean, it was just a tiny bit too big. Now, rather than just go and buy a bigger length of PVC pipe basically so I could slide it in, I just decided to just take a sledgehammer and pound this stupid thing onto this pipe. And I pounded it on there tightly, so this thing's not going anywhere. Of course, it warped this end of the pipe a little bit to where I couldn't put this end cap on to finish it. So basically, I just had to whittle the rough edges off and sand it smooth so this could actually fit on there. So that's the structure there. That's the handle. Next part is this part, which is like the main beam emitter thing and all that. This is basically a tactical flashlight, but this thing was like rusted out and corroded all the hell in there, so it was just useless as a flashlight anymore. But I thought this could make the good starting point for a lightsaber, so I slid it onto this pipe, and it happened to be exactly the right kind of diameter to slide it on there. Then what I did to break up the flashlight part was I put this little plastic gasket thing on there that I had left lying around. Then pulling this down here, this part, I ripped out the flashlight bulb guts, so there's no flashlight bulb in here. So I replaced it with this little broken nozzle from an old flex hose that I had lying around. I thought that looks like a pretty cool, like a cool beam emitter. Then I took this little black ring thing, which is left over from the flashlight itself. I just took it off of this top here and glued it on up here to give it a nice little trim piece to give it some contrast. So yeah, I had it all together pretty much at one point, but there was like, at the base here, there was like this 1-inch space that just, I could have left that 1-inch space alone where there was nothing there. It just didn't look finished to me. So that's why took these old PVC fittings and stuff, so I thought that I could slide them on there to break up the blank spot and finish it off, and it looked pretty good. So that's pretty much what I have so far with the lightsaber hilt. Now I just got to glue it all together, so stay tuned. Well, there it is. It's all glued together and assembled. Looks pretty good. One of the things I loved about using a tactical flashlight as the beam emitter here, because I was wondering where I was going to put like a switch on this thing, because every lightsaber's got to have a switch or a button or something that activates it, even though this thing's not going to light up or because it doesn't have any electronics or anything. It's just a static prop. But I wanted to give it like a switch so it had that kind of functionality and stuff. Then I realized, because from my research into the Star Wars Expanded Universe, there's not any one type of switch. There's multiple types. So there's really no wrong way to do one. So I thought, that's when it hit me, because the tactical flashlight has like a zoom function with this little collar thing that you pull up and down. That way it could zoom the beam. And I thought, this is a perfect built-in solution to the switch problem. You know, when it's up and enshrouds the beam emitter, beam's turned off. Pull it down, exposes the beam emitter, but then the lightsaber blade turns on. And I was just so happy with that, because I thought that makes my lightsaber more unique to me. So now that it's all glued together, I guess all that's left to do really is the painting part of it, and also to put a wrap on this, which I have some scrap like fabric around that can do it. So time to get to work. Okay, that's the first coat of paint done. I'm going to let this dry for a bit, and then I'm going to come back and hit it with another coat of primer, and then we're going to do some detailing and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to show that or not, but stay tuned. There's going to be more. Okay, after about a couple hours of drying and weathering and a shave later, I got my lightsaber painted and weathered. Now I'm going to do a fabric wrap on the handle, and that should finish us off no problem. So stay tuned. Well, folks, now that the painting and assembling and weathering is all complete, let's take a look at the final result. And here she is. Yeah, I am super proud of that. I am just really ecstatic with how well this turned out, really. I give it the pseudo leather wrap thing from some fabric I had lying around. You know, this was the flashlight, like I mentioned, the hose piece, PVC, all that stuff. And it looked like plastic, you know, just basically a bunch of plastic bits stuck together when I first started this build. But the second I started painting it, it started looking like something. And I'm super proud of that. And like I said before, like this has a little bit of functionality where like the collar slides up and down, because I picture me that's like the power switch that turns everything on and off. And I mean, obviously that doesn't work on this, but I am so ecstatic with this. I might actually build another lightsaber hilt at some point. Actually, I think I'm in the process of building 2 for my girlfriend, like, you know, for, you know, possible cosplay stuff. But yeah, so if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and hopefully I'll be able to do more build videos in the future. Until then, happy viewing.